And we are live. Welcome into the Arena Multiplatform Gaming News Podcast morning show for Wednesday, May 18th, 2022. I'm your host, Expat, along with my co-host, Burly, Burlyman Gaming on Twitch. Good morning to you, Burly. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you, man?
Doing better. But I still had kind of a, stomach ailment earlier this afternoon, but it's now pretty much gone. So, So feeling much better this evening. So I think tomorrow I'll be back to 100% again. So yeah, it's good stuff. So it looks like you got your Tsushima background again. Yeah. So yeah. What did you say? You were moving out there? You were moving out there with PewDiePie? Yeah.
Is he actually moving out there?
He's in Japan now. Yes, he is out here now.
I actually did not know that. I've never followed that guy in my life.
Yeah, him and his wife are now actually living in Japan. I think they're in Tokyo. So maybe I'll run into him someday out here. So who knows? Yeah. He actually did a video recently about his move and stuff. So it's going to be, moving out here to Japan. The first couple of months are going to be the most stressful. They're tough. And the kind of the culture shock. He's been out here before, though. He's been out here a few times. But I mean, actually living here compared to actually just coming to visit, it's a whole different ballgame. So, I mean, the first couple of months are going to be tough, So, but, I mean, he's got millions and millions of followers. And I'm sure wherever he walks down the street, I'm sure somebody that watches YouTube is probably going to recognize his face at some point. So yeah.
Plus, he's got the cash, so if he needs something, he can get it.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like if I actually do move out there, at least I know you over there, so it's a less of a shock.
Yeah. So anyway, we got a great show for you. So we're talking about Nintendo, of course, the Switch figures. We're going to talk a little bit about those and how it's like people that have bought a Switch previously, they bought another one.
Yep.
So we're going to talk about that. The second wave of Xbox Game Pass titles have been announced for the remainder of May. So we're going to tell you about that. And then we're going to dive into a little bit of Yakuza. So, there was a review that came out for the Kaito Files. So we're going to talk about that a little bit because I have actually played the Kaito Files. So, we're going to talk a little bit about that. And then, of course, 505 Games. They came out with a few games that they showed just recently. So we're going to show those to you and describe those for you. So, So, Burly, what are you playing right now, man? Right now, I have not had a chance to play anything this week yet, of course.
I've been playing a bunch of different things. I did some Ring Fit this morning.
Ring Fit? Okay, yeah.
Extra little exercise.
Yeah.
And then, but the main stuff, like last night, I was doing Platinum Run, which I've never played. And Sifu, I'll be doing tonight. I've beaten Sifu, so now I'm doing the other ending for it.
Okay. You're just trying to get the Platinum, right? Is there a Platinum for Sifu?
There is, and I'm going to try and see if I can actually do it, yes.
I
have a problem.
Yes, you do, Burly. You have a spiritual platinum opium problem, yes.
No, the spiritual opium use is good.
Well,
my dealer says it's a good usage.
Yeah. And how's the Steam Deck holding up for you? Have you dropped it yet, or has it been damaged in any way so far? Yeah.
It has not been dropped. No damage.
Nice.
I unfortunately have not had a lot of time because this thing, I want to do a lot of things, but I need the time and sit. But the problem is, I've got whenever I want to dedicate a lot of time, I get rings on the phone or other stuff. So it's like I literally need to turn my phone off and stuff.
Yeah, like I literally need to turn this content stuff off. You and Carl keep me busy all the time, so I have a problem. I don't get a chance to play video games. because I'm doing all the content stuff with you guys, and then of course social media posts and everything. I do everything. So yeah.
Hey, I hear you. I'm a Twitch streamer and I got stream loot. So you think I know exactly how much time this takes?
Yeah. So I want to put a little bit more time into trying to actually play some games. But I got a few more days before the weekend podcast to get some gaming in. So. But then again, tomorrow is Strange New Worlds, so you gotta watch that and get ready for that. And the second episode of Strange New Worlds is going up to YouTube later on tonight. So, yeah, I hope all of you can get a chance to watch that. So, but I was gonna say, Burly, what I'd love to really do is, how people sometimes have rages and they throw their controllers, they break their controllers. I want to see like how many people out there actually rage on their Steam Decks and see how the Steam Deck holds up to rages and people throwing it against the wall or on the floor or something like that.
Oh yeah. That well, they did show you. Remember when it got announced? What's the one video they had the drop test thing and the thing hitting it?
Yeah.
To test it.
Yeah.
So they have tested a little. I'm not gonna do any of that shit with mine because
no. Of course not.
That's my baby. I paid a lot of money. I'm not.
Right. That's the funny thing, though. It's like when people rage quit or they rage, and they throw their controllers and stuff. They're not even thinking about the amount of money they probably invested in those controllers or in their handheld devices and stuff. Yeah.
That's why I don't do the rage stuff. I'll walk off and swear like. Yeah. I'll become like a sailor.
Yeah. So. Okay, anyway, it's time to get to our first story after we get the coffee brewing and everything for everybody. So we're going to be talking Nintendo. Of course, I got my Mario hat tonight. So we're going to talk about Nintendo and their Switch sales figures right after this. So get the coffee brewing, Burly.
Coffee's brewing.
All right. First story right after this. All right, so Nintendo's 5-year-old console is getting a lot of repeat purchases, especially the OLED edition, from what it seems like, Burly. So according to the company's sales figures, so I'm going to read a little bit of this for you all. This is from Haley Williams over at GameSpot. Even though the Switch is now 5 years old, Nintendo is confident that sales of the console are going to remain strong, sharing that a high number of Switch owners are buying second consoles. The statistic was revealed as part of the company's financial results briefing for the end of the latest fiscal year. So during a Q&A on the company's financial results, Nintendo was asked about the new OLED model Switch, which you could see here in our image, and what ratio of sales the company expects to make up. In response, Nintendo's representative director and president, Furukawa Shuntaro, shared some interesting stats about the OLED and Switch Lite being purchased by people who already own a Switch. So he says, quote, out of sell-through figures for the previous fiscal year, about 25% of overall hardware purchases were made by those who already owned a Nintendo Switch, end quote. Furukawa explained, quote, about 30% of Nintendo Switch Lite unit sales were repeat purchases, demand for additional Nintendo Switch systems after the first, and 40% of Nintendo Switch OLED model unit sales were repeat or replacement purchases, end quote. Furukawa also added that Nintendo expects the OLED model Switch to make up a larger portion of the company's hardware sales during the next financial year, with the updated console only releasing near the end of the most recent fiscal year. So, Burly, what do you think of that, man? Yeah, people, a lot of a high percentage, higher than probably we figured, of people actually getting a second Switch. What do you think of this?
It's not surprising. Think of if you think of their handheld market. How many people went from the regular 3DS to the 3DS XL or the new 3DS or new 3DS XL?
Yeah.
This is something Nintendo has done for years. I'm a little surprised the OLED picked up as much. I knew the Lite would pick up because that is such a great price point.
Yeah.
And just to get someone in, get them on a library of games and go.
Yeah, well, especially for the kids too, like having your own and then buying one for your daughter or your son or something like that. I mean, I could definitely see that, especially out here in Japan. So, yeah. Yeah, I sometimes would be at Yodobashi and I would see like parents buying 2 or 3, just one for themselves and one for their son, one for their daughter, different colors. But but the OLED model, I was kind of surprised at the percentage there, especially for OLED. I mean, what are you going to do with 2? Unless it was a replacement model, of course.
See, like the OLED, I got nothing against the OLED.
Yeah.
It just, for me, there was no sense the upgrade. Because, the better dock is nice. I could buy the dock or just buy the USB-C adapter for the Ethernet port. I still haven't done it because it's not a big enough deal to me. But it's like the little bit better of the screen,
right?
A bit better battery,
and it's a little larger, right? The screen size, a little larger.
Was it a little larger? I can't even remember.
I think so.
It was.
Yeah, a little larger. I think. Yeah.
So it's just not enough to make me want to jump in and buy it. But I can see, I knew people that waited for the OLED to come out and hadn't bought a Switch, and that's what they jumped in on. And it was like, I can understand. You get the newest unit.
Yeah. So anyway, those are the sales figures. What do you think for this next financial year, Burly? Do you think the OLED's going to sell really well? I think it is. I think, the Switch is still for the next, right now people are assuming that 2024 is when we're going to get the next iteration of console, like whether it's going to be another like Switch type of system. So I still think I think this OLED is going to be a big seller for the next year and a half at least. So we shall see.
I think so. I think we're going to get the regular Switch. It's just going to die out soon. They're going to discontinue, no longer have those models, and only push OLED and Lite.
Yeah, we have our other co-host of the Arena Multiplatform Gaming News Podcast, Turn-Based Carl. He's in the chat here. He says, "I'm waiting for the Switch Home model." Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
Switch Home model. Okay. Yeah.
It's called the regular or the Lite, or the OLED. Sorry.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So we're gonna switch gears here and go from Nintendo to Xbox, and we're gonna talk about some of the new Game Pass titles that are coming the second half of May. We're gonna get to that right after Burly flies the drone. Okay. So drone initiated, Burly.
Drones initiated station soon.
All right. Here we go. Stay tuned. Okay, so let me get to this here. So the Game Pass games for the remainder of the month, and they're coming up now. Here we go. All right. So Burly, take it away. What are we going to be getting for the remainder of May?
Well, available today, you get Her Story for PC. You also get Jurassic World Evolution 2 coming to cloud, console, and PC.
Nice.
We've also get Little Witch in the Woods. It's a preview. It's not. It's actually full day one on Game Pass for both console and PC.
Okay.
Skate via cloud via EA Play. I don't know. I'm going to butcher this name. Umurangi Generation Special Edition.
Yeah.
For cloud, console, and PC. Day one, but coming soon to Game Pass.
Yeah.
We got Farming Simulator 2022 coming to cloud, console, and PC May 19th. Vampire Survivors coming May 19th.
Okay. To PC. Yeah.
To PC, yeah. Floppy Nights coming to cloud, console, and PC May 24th.
Okay. Yeah.
We've got Hard Space Shipbreaker coming to PC May 24th. And I know we've got Sniper Elite 5 coming to console and PC May 26th.
I'm looking forward to that one. Yeah.
I was going to say, I know you're looking forward to that.
Yeah, because honestly, I am not joking. I have a sniper license.
I believe you.
Yes, I do. I have a sniper license. I got it when I was in college. Yeah, I've never used that license in the real world. So, but yeah, I do have one. So I did train with sniper rifles. So
Cool.
yeah, cool stuff. When I was living in America back in the day, back in the day. So okay.
Alrighty. We also got Cricket 2022 coming to PC May 27th.
Mm-hmm.
Pac-Man Museum Plus coming to Cloud, Console, and PC May 27th.
Nice. Yeah.
And they have some game updates that they've added some touch controls and stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
Got Grounded, the Bug Strike Back update available now.
Mm-hmm.
As well as a Memoir Blue, Contrast, Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair Anniversary Edition.
Yay, Danganronpa. Yeah.
EDT Chronicle Rising, Far Changing Tides, Kentucky Route Zero, Loot River, Paradise Killer, Tainted Grail, Conquest, Town Scraper, and Visage. Yeah, see, I always get bad with that. And games that are leaving Game Pass by the end of May. EA Sports NHL 2022 for console, Farming Simulator 2019 for cloud, console, PC, Knockout City, cloud, and PC, Resident Evil 7, cloud, console, PC, Spellforce 3, Soul Harvest for PC, Super Mind Control Delete, cloud, console, PC, Yes Your Grace, cloud, console, and PC.
Yeah, so on this image here of this list of the remainder of May of what we're getting for Game Pass, 3 of those games are our picks of the week, of course, for the next edition of the podcast. We're not going to tell you which ones they are right now, so you have to wait until we do the weekly podcast edition on Saturday to name those picks of the week. But yeah, the 3 of them for myself, Burly, and Carl are on this list here. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a pretty good list. I mean,
it's not bad. You got your variety of titles.
Yeah, definitely.
There just isn't that big wow factor. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not a huge triple A title. But not everyone you need that, in all honesty. You can get stuff good like this that I will check out and play some of these.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested in playing that Jurassic World Evolution 2, so to see how that is as well. And of course, Pac-Man Museum, you know, just the nostalgia that it's going to bring for me, especially from, you know, back in the day. So.
I hope they settle the rights case and get Miss Pac-Man in there, because Miss Pac-Man, you should have, like, I hope that all gets settled. Yeah, and then I Miss Pac-Man deserves to be in there,
right,
because it was the better game.
yeah. All right, so thank you for that, Burly. So yeah, those are the list of titles that are going to be for the remainder of May that are going to be released. So look forward to those if you're a Game Pass subscriber. So next up, we're going to talk some Yakuza. Okay. So, yeah, the Kaito Files. We're going to talk about that a little bit. There was a review that came out just recently, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. And I'll give a little bit I'll shed some light on that game, because I have played it. I've finished it. So, no spoilers, obviously, but we're going to get into that right after this. So please stay tuned. All right, here we go, Burly. Turns out a short Yakuza is a very good Yakuza. So, yeah, good old Kaito. Yeah, some people think that Kaito should replace Yagami in the Lost Judgment games. Now, for any of you out there that have never played Judgment or Lost Judgment, where
go play them.
Yes, go play them, definitely. Kaito, of course, is he's one of the main characters. He's kind of like the number 2 to Takayuki Yagami, who is played by the actor Kimura Takuya, who is very famous out here in Japan. And of course, Kimura Takuya's character Yagami is the head of the detective agency that Kaito works for. So, and Kaito was ex-Yakuza, of course, but he's known Yagami for a very long time, since they were kind of like, in high school. And so, yeah, I mean, they're kind of like best friends as well. But the Kaito Files is like a separate DLC that you can get with Lost Judgment. And it is amazing. It's about a 6 to 7 hour game where Kaito goes on his own case. So Yagami is basically not in the game. There are some text messages that you see from Yagami to Kaito, but this is Kaito's story. And so you get a lot of background of Kaito that you don't get in the first Judgment game or even in Lost Judgment. So this is a really good game to pick up. And I'm not going to read any of the review, but it's a positive review. But I mean, I just want to leave this image here because I can tell you that this is a must play for a DLC package that they're coming out with for a Lost Judgment. It's an amazing story when it comes to his background. The Judgment game and the Lost Judgment game, the stories are just amazing games. The storytelling is really, really well done. And the combat style is very Yakuza-like. That's why, of course, they say a short Yakuza is a good Yakuza. Because the combat system is based on the Yakuza games up until Yakuza 6. Of course, Yakuza 7, Like a Dragon, started to go turn-based, whereas the Judgment series is, based on the Yakuza combat system. So this game, like I said, you learn a lot about Kaito's backstory, but you see how good of a detective he can be in this game, being alone and not having to depend on Yagami. I mean, Kaito is basically the muscle, where Yagami is the brains. Of course, Yagami, he knows, a lot of techniques of fighting techniques as well. But, I mean, Kaito's role in the games is basically he's the brawn, so because he's ex-Yakuza and all. So, Burly, anyway, anything you want to comment about on this?
Yeah, no, this is something I'm looking forward to get to when I do finish Lost Judgment. Kaito is a character I have loved. I loved him in Judgment, and Lost Judgment, I'm still loving the guy. He's someone I'm hoping that if this DLC does well, that they actually give out, because if the whole thing with Kimura Takuya and Johnny's, if this is going to take a while to get him to come to agree to a third game and take a while, why not just make a quick game for Kaito's character? You don't need to make a big game. You can give me a good budgetary game,
right,
with a good 10 to 15 hour story,
right,
and I'm hooked.
Carl says in the chat here, pick one, Expat, Kaito as the lead in Lost Judgment 3 or the franchise ends. Obviously, Kaito as the lead. Yeah, because I don't want to see the series end. I mean,
no.
If it had to come to getting rid of Kimura Takuya to continue the series, then obviously I would want the series to continue. But, I don't think that's going to happen. I still think Kimura Takuya is already working on the TV series out here in Japan for the Judgment series, and a movie is also in the works. So I don't think he's going anywhere. So we shall see. I am just interested to find out who the actor is that's going to play Kaito, and hopefully it's the same voice actor that's going to play Kaito. Yeah, in the TV series as well. We shall see.
I would hope.
Yeah, because I think Genda-san, who is the law firm owner. That's the actual actor who plays the voice or who does the voice acting as well. So I'm sure he's going to be in the TV series as well. And like Sayuri and the others, the same actresses. Yeah, they'll all be, contracted to do it. So go ahead, Burly. What were you going to say?
I said I hope they get them all back because they all did a fantastic job. Yeah. And not to say the English is bad for these games, but as Expat made me do, because I've gone back and forth. The Japanese is much better than the English.
Yes.
I will honestly say.
Yes.
Play with the subtitles. I know it's hard.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah, because Kimura Takuya is, he's a great actor, and it's really good to try to play the game with his own voice, So, as well as the other actors and actresses, voice actors and actresses, so. All right, so now we're gonna move on and talk about 505 Games. They had a little presentation, so we're gonna show you some of the games that they had at the presentation right after this. So stay tuned. All right, so everything's shown at 505 Games, their showcase. Yep. So this is from Game Informer. So 505 Games, a publisher behind games like the yet-to-be-released Payday 3, Control, and the PC version of Death Stranding Director's Cut, held its first ever games showcase. The event revealed 3 new games and a quick look at EDT Chronicles Rising. So we're going to take a look at those. And the first game, let me go ahead and get to that here. So, Among the Trolls. Okay, and as I play these, Burly is going to give a description of them. So, Burly, Among the Trolls. So, here we go. We're going to start the, it's a 44-second trailer here. So, go ahead.
Yep. The trailer for Among the Trolls set up this survival game as somewhat spooky or at least mysterious. Your goal is to survive in a forest that is home to a creature of folklore like, trolls. The main character recalls that their grandmother told them that every forest, meadow, and lake has its own kind of folk, and that you must keep those folk happy by sacrificing something to them. After moving away to the U.S., though specific circumstances, you're back at your grandparents' house in Finland. Before arriving, a giant sea monster crushes your bow, and you awaken in a forest, unwary of where you are or why you are there. Given that it's a survival game, the first thing you must do is find a way to survive. That's where the traditional genre elements like crafting come into play. Of course, with the folklore twist, Among the Trolls, simply surviving won't be enough. You'll need to keep the creatures that call the forest home happy, and you'll need to figure out exactly what to do. Among the Trolls being developed in Unity by Forbidden and will be coming early access to Steam sometime in the future.
Yeah, that video of the forest there looked pretty good, didn't it? Yeah, it's very pretty. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so next up, let's get to the next one here, Stray Blade. So let's take a look at Stray Blade. All right, go ahead, Burly. What can you say about Stray Blade here?
You play as an anthropologist from another land who explores ancient ruins of mysterious civilizations. In doing so, you accidentally break a 1,000-year-old spell that blocks a valley to an unknown civilization separate from the plane you are currently call yours. Then you encounter a small wolf man creature that becomes your companion. So together you must uncover and explore the Aquaria, which seemingly becomes your new home since you can't leave a bunch of magical shards embedded in your chest are removed. Arcaria features many different biomes, a desert, forest, frozen tundra, and more. And you must survive in each while dodging the pointy end of arrows and more from wearing factions. There's crafting and plenty magic-based combat. You'll be able to give it a go when Stray Blade goes in beta on PlayStation, Xbox consoles, and PC sometime this year.
Yeah. So what we're showing here, this is what they showed was a pre-alpha build of it. So, yeah.
And sometime this year, keep that in mind.
Yeah,
like
no
things get dull.
Yeah. Sometime in the future. That's what they mean. Sometime in the future. That's exactly what they mean. All right, next up, EDT Chronicles Rising. So, Burly, can you read that for us? What do we got?
Sure. We've got, since this game's already out, there's no point in giving over what was discussed about it today. But hey, you can read Game Informer. That's literally what they have.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
but this game does look great.
Yeah. Atari Natsumi. Yeah. Murayama
Yeah,
Yoshitaka.
this is one I do want to check out when I have what is called free time.
Yeah.
Whatever that comes.
Yeah.
But we have talked about this game and showed it before.
Right. Okay. And the last one, Miasma Chronicles. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. So Burly, what do we have? What information do we have on that?
Not much was shown or discussed in regards of Miasma Chronicles, which is being developed by Mutant Year Zero developer, the Bearded Ladies. Oh yeah. Save for the nice-looking cinematic CGI trailer, and you see a young protagonist with a fun human-sized robot companion attempting to use magic or either control or contain or enter strange black portal digs. The robot warns the protagonist against it. The protagonist pushes forward anyway, using a special magic-wielding glove from his mom to interact with the portal. As for it, when it turns out he believes his mom is on the other side of the portal, that's when he tries to go through. A release window was not given for Miasma Chronicles.
So basically, maybe 2025, 2026, somewhere in there, probably. I mean, this is just like a trailer, a cinematic trailer. So
I love
2023. Yeah.
I love Carl's comment. Can't believe they spent so much time on a game that's already released. Yeah. That is.
Yeah.
That is stupid.
Yeah. So anyway, those are the games from 505 that were shown. So, all right.
And take any release date with a grain of salt now.
Exactly. I mean, they say coming 2023. It's not. It's probably not. It's probably coming later. 2024, 2025, 2026. Somewhere in there. Probably a good bet would be to say coming this generation. I mean, coming this generation. Yeah, whenever that is, we don't know. But anyway.
The Switch Cloud version will come.
Yeah. It's like they spent time on an already released game. I mean, I guess they're just trying to pump up. Whoa, we're 505 games. We make these games, so But I mean, they're not the only developing studio that's done that before. But yeah. Anyway, yeah. Okay. So in our episode today, we talked about Nintendo and we talked about Switch sales and. A lot of Switch owners are actually picking up another one. So we talked about that. We talked about the Xbox Game Pass games for the second half of May. And then we talked about, of course, Kaito and the Kaito files. So good reviews out on that. Go pick up that DLC if you're playing Lost Judgment, which is a part of the Yakuza series. And then, of course, 505 Games came out with their little presentation. So... All right. So, yeah, that's going to do it for Burly and I for this edition of the morning show. So we hope to catch you again tomorrow. We want to thank our other co-host, Turn-Based Carl, for coming into the chat and being with us. And all of you that are also watching, we thank you so much, and we appreciate all of your support. And all of you that watch in video on demand, thank you so much as well. So I've been your host, Expat, along with my co-host, Burlyman Gaming on Twitch. We hope to catch you tomorrow in the next edition of the morning show. So take care, everyone. Hey, peace out. Burly, kill the feed.
With pleasure. Yeah.